This conference will now be recorded.
Can someone confirm if you can share my see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, before we start, so my name is Ram. So I'm working in Salesforce from past almost 14 years, and yeah, currently I'm working as a lead architect, leading a team of around 32 or 30, yeah, 32 odd number, and yeah, it's been 7 or 8 years I've been into trainings. This is just a kind of part time that I do, so I'm not specifically on into training. So I will be working in a different organization. Apart from that, I do provide trainings, and I've trained not less than 2,600 people till date. Yeah. And coming to certifications and all, I think if I'm not wrong, I have around 19 certifications in Salesforce, which commends admin, sales, service, consultant, architects, developer, senior developer, all this. So I will discuss more about the certifications at the end of the end of the session. And today we are here to discuss about some intro part of Salesforce, and we'll see how it works as well. Okay. Any questions, anyone?
Ram, there's a background noise from your side. We cannot hear you properly.
Is that clear now?
Yeah, that's fine now. Thank you.
1 second. Okay. Sorry, my kids woke up a little early today. Okay. So, how many of you are from the IT background, or are you all of, or of is all of you are students, recent grads or something?
I'm studying final.
Okay. So, okay. So first we'll discuss about the industrial evolution. So more or less, this screen you are much more familiar, if I'm not wrong, right? So first it started with steam till in early 1800s, then electricity, then computing, and now we are into intelligence in the fourth industrial revolution. What does it mean? So we are more into artificial intelligence, right? So what is the difference between third and fourth? So the third industrial revolution, where just give me 1 minute. Sorry. See, in the third industrial revolution, where we used to speak with the systems in a language that your system can understand, right? You used to write some programs and then provide some input so that you'll get some output, processed data, and all, right? So, but when it comes to fourth industrial revolution, system used to it started understanding the way you speak the native languages, right? So, for example, see, I can ask Siri to call my mother, right? Or I can ask Alexa to play whatever the songs that I'm looking for, right? And with a small noise, I can ask my lights to switch on, right? So these are all artificial intelligence where they can understand our human language, right? That is where your fourth industrial revolution is into. And of course, so one of them is your chatbot. If you have seen the recent thing, right, from first 3 4 months, where where Salesforce is more towards it, of course. So I'll show you that later. Okay. Now, so If you forget about the industrial revolutions and all, so why do we need any IT application? What's the reason behind having all these applications? End of the day, to make our life easier, right? So, for example, yeah, uh, I want to travel from point A to point B. Earlier, if I don't have a car, I have to go to main road, look for some autos or cars, ask them, and then if they agree with the price that I have negotiated, then I used to book that and I used to go. But now everything is there on my fingertips, right? I'll just open my mobile, open Ola or Uber, book the cab or book the auto, whatever I need, fix the price, do the payment even online, I'll go, right? So this basically is reducing the time and effort of doing some activity, right? Now, so that's where like we have lots and lots of applications, right? You have Amazon, Flipkart, and of course to speak with your friends, you have Facebook, WhatsApp, all this, right? Now, consider like somewhere around 2000, early 2000s. So there during that time also we do have applications, but the apps built during those times are built on legacy platforms, right? So which means maybe C, C++, C sharp, all this. What do they do? So let's say I built some ABC application which helps me to let's say this big basket, right? So I have built a big basket application using C or C++. So when I'm building it, it's not that I can simply open my system, say start writing the code and get the application done, right? That's not possible. So once I get an idea, so I need to set up that platform for it, right? Like I need to get a server where I can host this application. I need to install some softwares in my system, define the access, make sure the security is defined properly. All these things has to taken care by me. And who am I? I'm the owner of the application, but I'm setting up the infrastructure also for myself. Now, in early 2000s or 1990s, so we don't have this cloud and all. So that time it's like, okay, as you are building your own application, you have to set up the centers, some three, four centers across your city or town, so that people will come to you and then they used to book. For example, your IRCTC portal, right? So whenever you want to buy a train ticket, you have to go to the stations earlier. Of course, even your flight tickets also, right? So you have to make a call, ask them to reserve for you, and then you go there, pay them, then only you do that. That is where you have lots of brokers in between, right? Then slowly, what happened is the number of people who started using this application got increased drastically. And looking at this, a lot of people started building different applications. And one app you might get some, let's say, $100 of discount, and some if you go to some other application they used to give you 150 or 200 also. So there is a lot of competition also, right? So which means that the market is not consistent. Let's say if Ram built an application, let's say, and something to book a train ticket, so someone else is giving you a discount of 100 rupees on it. So you won't come to me, right? So which means my users, the number of people who is using my system are not stable. It might increase or it might decrease, right? So if it is decreasing, I'll be into losses. If it increases, the problem is as I am maintaining my own server, I have to make sure my server is able to support those many people at that particular point of time. Right. That is where IRCTC was very big failure earlier. Why? Because every time when you try to book some tickets, it used to crash. The website itself used to crash. Why? Because the server capacity of IRCTC earlier was 50,000 users. And if you compare with Indian population, that nowhere matches, right? That's where it used to crash automatically. Then now what is the solution? That is where we have cloud computing. So if you consider these two, like you have on-premise and cloud computing. So what's the difference? In on-premise application, me as the owner of the application, the resource owner, I have to take care of everything, right from networking to application, where it has to define my own operating system, middlewares. I have to look up on my servers, make sure the storage capacity is properly done, all these things. But when it comes to cloud, what will happen is you will have a vendor or a service provider somewhere sitting in some other place, right? And he will say, "Hey, Sai, if you want to build an application, okay, that is fine. I have a server. I'll give you some space. You come there, pay me some rental amount, and start utilizing it till whenever you want, right?" But Ram, one problem here. Again, here also the same server concept. They're also saying it's a server only. So again, even when I'm taking some space, again the market always fluctuates 24 by 7. So I don't have a guarantee. So how do you manage? So in this case, the servers won't crash. Why? Because the servers coming from cloud computing will have a concept of instantiation your app in or creating an instance of your application. So they basically won't create allow the user to access your application directly. Rather, they'll create an image in the cloud and that image will be shared to your user. Now Ram, what is the difference? See, end of the day, your users can't touch and feel, right? For them it's just a screen that they'll see, right? So what if we give an image? So if something happens, if any, even if let's say if there is a drastic load, then there is a chance of crashing your sorry, your image, but not your actual application or not your server. In that way, you have high security or high safety here, right? And at the same time, as this is based on cloud, so if the number of users increases and the servers will automatically increase the number of instances, so there won't be any problems also. In this way it will help us a lot, and these things are, we are least bothered about it. Why? Because we are paying them to do this activity, right? And in cloud we have three types of service: infrastructure, platform, and software. What is infrastructure? The place where you'll give like 50% of your, which will reduce 50% of your efforts. Like they'll say, okay, I'll give you storage space, I'll make sure networking is sorted, servers are given, virtualization also I'll help you. But if you want to build an application, you have to get your own operating system, or you have to set your own middleware so that you can integrate with some other system, or the runtime data or applications has to be handled by yourself. And one biggest example is your Amazon Web Services. So that is where it was little hard, because I would say this is semi on-premise service, right? Then comes your platform as a service. So here you will have everything apart from data and application. They'll say you build your own data structures and your application. That's the only thing. They'll give you a base platform where you don't have to install anything, set up everything. You just go there, log in, start building your application. This is where your first step of your cloud computing, I'm sorry, Salesforce is there. That is force.com platform. The platform that we use in Salesforce is nothing but force.com platform. And the next one is software as a service, where you will have all these features, plus they will give you some applications and you can make use of it as an end user. A very simple example: WhatsApp, or to make it more simple, Facebook. So when you log into Facebook, so along with your credentials, like along with the normal features that they have, like speaking with your friends, sharing your pictures, you can play some games also without installing anything. So that's a software provided to you as a service where you can utilize it, right? So this is where Salesforce plays a major role. Along with the licenses, Salesforce will give you some standard set of applications which are defined at market standards like sales, service, console, communities, all this. We'll discuss some of them maybe in the next session, right? And they'll say, hey, if your business process matches with this market standards, then you don't have to build anything from scratch. I have a ready-made applications for you. You can start building it. Now Ram says, no. So I do sell products, but I won't follow the standards. So what is the standard sales process? Can someone explain me?
Uh, Actually, they need to uh, get an idea and do some analysis, and they need to develop some software, and it should go to
No.
testing. And
Let's say I have a product. Consider, yeah, I have a mobile. Okay, it's
Mhm.
a new mobile, so no one knows about it. I have started a manufacturing unit. I have manufactured some thousand mobiles. Now I want to sell them in the market. So what is the
Okay.
process I should follow?
First of all, you just need to plan how we should market it, and we should reach out to the people, and we should explain them the benefits of your phone. Yeah,
Okay, which
marketing
means
is from.
if I have to do the marketing,
Yeah,
then does it mean that people whosoever look at the product, they'll come to me and buy it? No guarantee, right? They will
yeah,
start inquiring about the product,
of course.
right? For example, let's go to a bigger product. Let's say a car. So when Kia came into India, so it's not that everyone liked it, everyone bought it, right? So they went to showroom, they looked at the features. Post that, what happened is they went out and they have seen, okay, with this price, what is the what are the other products that are available in the market? Are they coming for a little more cheaper, or are they coming with better quality? All these things. And if I am satisfied with whatever the cars, the models that provided by Kia are better than the other products that are available in the market, then I'll buy up a car in Kia Motors, right? Of course, it comes with the same even in Maruti or any other brand, right? So end of the day, if you go to any sales process, you'll have marketing. Once the marketing is done, you'll get inquiries. Once the inquiry you got the inquiries, then your sales agents will keep in touch with them, so that the customers might get convinced to buy your product, and then they'll start buying your products, right? So this is the standard sales process, correct? And this is what has been developed in Salesforce already, and it says that if you want to make use of it, you start using it. Okay. And now Arpita says, yeah, this is all fine, but uh, the company that I deal, let's say, a simple, let's say she is running a restaurant. Okay. So it's a new restaurant, or let's say it's a very old restaurant. It's there from 10 years or 15 years. So people are already aware of it. And she started a new branch, and she don't need a marketing because everyone in that area knows that, okay, Arpita is starting a big restaurant. So she don't need any marketing here. But can she use Salesforce? Yes. Can she use the sales process? Yes. But Ram, you said marketing is there in sales process. Yes, she can skip it up because there is no inquiries here, right? The moment customer comes, he'll buy some idli vada and then he'll just eat and he'll leave this restaurant, right? So, but end of the day, she's also doing a business. The way you're maintaining the relation with customers is what matters in such food industries, right? So which means anyone can use it, right? And at the same time, Salesforce will say that if you feel that okay, if you tweak this application, if and it satisfies your business process, Salesforce says yes, you can tweak it. You can, which means that you can customize the applications given by Salesforce. Okay, and then now Arun says, yeah, I don't have a customer. I'm working in an organization. But let's say whenever I'm starting a project, I will get some funds from different areas, and for that I need some approvals from 20 departments in my organization. All this is what my process is. Then Salesforce says, yes, boss, I don't have such applications with me, but you can build one in mine because I'm giving you a platform along with all these applications, which means either you can use the existing applications or customize these applications, or you can build your own application right from scratch. Okay, yeah. And someone is saying custom, so these are some examples of software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure. Then so there is something called Salesforce Customers 360. So someone was texting me saying customer relationship management. What is it? Is that a tool? Who pinged? Yeah. Is that a tool or an application or a software? What is it? Arpita or Cycle?
Okay, can you repeat again? I did not get you.
What is CRM? Like, is that a tool or an application or a
It's an
technology?
application because it is going to establish connection between the software and the human being.
Okay, perfect. It's not a tool, nor an application, neither a technology. It is just a process, okay, which tells you how do you maintain a healthy relation with the customers. For example, I'm really sorry, Arpita, if you felt bad. Let's say I am running a restaurant, okay, and you people came to my restaurant, so you had some food. One of you said like, okay, Ram, this food is not that tasty. If I say, hey, if you want to eat my food, you come to my hotel and eat it. If not, if I ask you to get lost, definitely you won't come back. But if the same owner says, okay, we are really sorry, I don't have to give you a gift or I don't have to reduce the price. But if I really say sorry and ask a chef in front of you to make it better next time, definitely you'll feel happy, right? So the way I respond to you is what matters in every business, right? So if I'm maintaining a good relation with you, then I don't have to give a publicity going out. You yourself will say, hey, no, I went to this restaurant. The owner name is Ram. He is very polite, very humble, very good. And the way they provide is also a good service. That itself is a good publicity for me. But if I'm arrogant, the same thing will be gone out and people will stop coming to my restaurant even if they want to eat something which isn't close by, right? So which means the more or the good relation, the more amount of relation that I'm maintaining with my customers, the more business that I make. And this is what tells you with the CRM process. It helps you to maintain a healthy relation with your customers to maintain a good business. Now, in CRM, you have lot of technologies. Like SAP, you have CRM, right? So Microsoft CRM is there. Similarly, even Salesforce also. Salesforce strictly follows CRM process, where it'll tell you, it'll give you all the possible solutions when you can connect with your customer, right? how faster you can provide the service. What if a particular service request raised by a customer is not sorted in time? What can be done? All these things can be will be suggested by Salesforce. And of course, if you see here, there is one feature called Customer 360 where it covers the entire life cycle of a customer, right from inquiry till he becomes your customer. Let us say I have a product, I want to sell that in the market, then I can make use of sales. Now, I have sold the product, but I'll do provide service also. For example, the washing machines, right? So washing machine, like if I'm running a washing machine factory, my job just won't end only at sales, right? At least this restaurant job will end at sales. But when I run some machines like washing machines, or if I'm selling cars, then I'll have service process also, right? AMSs, right? Annual maintenance, AMS or AMS, annual maintenance service, right? For the to sell this off, I need marketing. So we have an application, a tool called marketing in Salesforce. Of course, this comes with a license where it will tell you how do we interact. And of course, there are some features in Salesforce where once you send an email, if customer opens that, then also you'll get notified saying that okay, you have sent 100 emails, out of which only 40 members have opened your email, which means from next time I don't have to consider those 60 people. They are not bothered about my product. Why should I keep on sending mails to them? Because they'll consider me as a nonsense person, right? And similar to your Amazon, Salesforce is coming with Commerce Cloud. Of course, this is still costly, too much costly when you compare with other markets, but it is still getting evolved. And you can build your own applications and do the define Einstein analytics as well. And any tool at the end of the day, if it is not capable of doing integration with any other technologies, maybe with SAP or Java or your SQL servers, or it could be with your mailing services, then there is no point of using it. And Salesforce is much better in this way. Why? Because somewhere around 2 3 years back, it acquired one biggest company called MuleSoft, which is one of the which has given a tremendous profits to Salesforce in their roadmap of integration. And then similar to your, okay, what is the use of your Google spreadsheets or Google Sheets for that matter? For example, let's say you have asked me notes. So I can share the document, right? But let's say after 6 months, I have updated it. Will you get that if I simply share a normal document? No, you will you won't be able to get it, right? But if I send you saying a spreadsheet, a link of a Google spreadsheet, and say that, hey Arun, whatever the updates that are there, I keep on updating here. So you just go to this link, you always have an updated document. So that will be more advantage. And at the same time, if Arun or Arpita or Sai Kiran wants to modify that, they can modify, and everyone can access that document, right? So similar to that, we have something called Quip in Salesforce. So Salesforce bought that as well, and it turned into employee experience. And unlike any other technology, Salesforce completes or comes up with 3 updates in a year, which we call them as releases. So we have something called Idea Exchange in Salesforce, a portal where looking at the product, if you feel that you need some extra feature, you can add there, and Salesforce will start building them based on the priority and the votings that they have given for. And to learn those new topics, we have something called trailblazing, right? So you can go there and start looking at it. Now, with all this, As I'm speaking more about customer now, you might have thought that okay, for this I must have the sales, service, or marketing so that I can make use of Salesforce. To an extent, yes, but if you say that's the only thing in Salesforce, no. And I'm not saying that Salesforce is the only solution that is available in software these days. No, we do have multiple. But when can I use Salesforce? If there is a data and you have defined a well defined process to mature that data, then you can make use of Salesforce. It could be your customer data or your employee data. There are organizations where they are using Salesforce as their performance management tool, which means you'll have your year end discussions with your managers, right, for your appraisals and all. For that also we can build there are organizations where they have built the solutions. Clear? And it's been used in multiple industries, right from travel industry to education, of course oil and gas as well. A very simple example is your red bus using Salesforce. And there is some new company that has launched for electronic vehicles, Aether, right? That is using Salesforce. It's there in Stanford University. Salesforce is widely being used in Stanford University. It's been used in British Petroleum. Of course, the local one, the one that you very regularly use at least thrice or four times in a week, your Paytm, you backend of Paytm is Salesforce. So it's been used in lots and lots of organizations, and that is where the demand of Salesforce is increasing day by day, even during the recession time. Okay, then how does it operate? So Salesforce follows multi-tenant architecture. Okay, what is multi-tenant architecture? For example, an apartment. Instead of you building your own pool, if you're there in an apartment, the cost of getting the pool will be very less, right? You just have to pay some small maintenance, right? So that you will have a watchman to maintain it. He can change the water, he clean up the pool, everything. And of course the power, the park, all these things are comes with a little amount of cost, and that's what even Salesforce does. But as you're in an apartment, as you'll have a dedicated flat, of course, even in Salesforce also, you will have a dedicated space where you are limited to do your activities within those space, and those limitations are called governor limits in Salesforce. For each and every feature that we have in Salesforce, have governor limits. And what's the best part? The best part is to build your application in such a way that you are not hitting the governor limits. So we'll see how in future. Okay. Now, see, as you don't have to install any software because it's just a URL based tool. So once you get an idea, get a Salesforce license, start building the application. And the beauty of Salesforce is by default, it will support either any desktop or mobile or tabs as well. You don't have to think about, okay, that application that I defined, will it support the mobile? So I have to bring on the UI UX developers so that they can design the system so that it will be responsive on my mobile device also. Not required. With minimal changes, you can do it on your, I mean, build the applications, even on mobile from Salesforce. Yeah. So what's the advantage here? So time and effort have been reduced. Earlier, it is like you have to set up your entire infrastructure on your own and then start building the application. But here, everything comes to you already. Only thing that you have to concentrate is to build your application, which ideally is very less time when you compare with others. He's the CEO. This is not required. Uh, who is not having a smartphone in this session? Is there anyone who doesn't have a smartphone? No, right? So what's the use of a smartphone? I can use a normal phone also, right? But what is the advantage of using a smartphone? I can install some apps, right, and make use of it. Maybe for doing any bank transactions, speak with my friends, do a video call, all this. So how do I do that? By going to my Play Store or an App Store, download them, install, sign in, start using. Simple, right? But can't you build your own applications? We might say no, but there are some very good mobile developers in the world. They can say yes, we can also build the application. They'll say yes, we can also build the application, but they won't say that yes, I will start building the application because Ram said, like Ram challenged. No, they won't. Why? They don't want to waste time and effort. If you're getting it for a free or a reasonable price, then why should you waste your time and effort there, right? And that is where you have your app store and Play Store. And you know what, the idea of this app store or a Play Store, actually Play Store came by after having this app store, right? App store is the domain which everyone knows that it got launched by Steve Jobs. And you know what, app store belongs to this guy. You can go back and search for it. He came up with the domain, and as he is a good friend of Steve Jobs, he has gifted it to him. And he came up with a new word called App Exchange. So, what is App Store? All iPhone users can log in, download some applications, and make use of it. And what is App Exchange? All Salesforce users can log in, download those applications, install in your Salesforce Access or the Salesforce Orgs, and start using it. And we have an App Exchange team where they'll monitor. So in App Store, you can use the application. You can download lots and lots of your applications which are personal as well. Like for example, you can download some games and play, right? Or you can download an internet, any net banking softwares and start doing transactions. Or you can download some commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, or Big Basket and do ordering. Okay? All these things can be done. But when it comes to Salesforce, most more or less this is for business, right? So most of the business related applications can be built and deployed in App Exchange by you, so that if people are interested, they can buy your application and they'll pay you maintenance as well. And for this, as Salesforce have all the users of Salesforce are paid users, they'll have an app exchange where basically app exchange team, basically you can call them as gatekeepers in a simple term, where they will see whether your application is defined with well security and best practices or not, and they'll allow you, right? And Salesforce comes up with a very good security. For example, these days you might have seen that when you try to log into any of your social networking websites or even your net bankings, they're asking for a verification code if you log in from a new system, making sure that it is you, even after giving password, right? And that's been there in Salesforce from 2006 itself. So even if I know Abdul's credentials, I can't log into my system, into his login or into his org from a different system. It will send a verification code to his personal registered mail ID, only which he can have access, and if he shares, then only I can access the data. And of course, to download the data from Salesforce to outside, because generally whenever a hacker does that, so first thing that they'll do is they'll export the data. That's what they do, right? But here, to get the data from Salesforce to outside, you need a token which will be generated by Salesforce and sent to your mail ID. It's a combination of 18-digit character, and till date, you can go back. There is no data breach in Salesforce. It is not that easier. Okay, it's not required. Also not much. So these are the list of companies that Salesforce have acquired, and by now, yeah, this is more important. So by 24, they are saying they want to grow to $35 billion company. But Ram, why this is important for me? Because See, if the technology, it's, I'm not saying that it is the company is growing. I would say, I would consider this as, if the technology is growing like this, then the number of customers that who are using that technology also growing, which means that they need developers who can build the application, right? And that's where you can plan for your career also. Okay, this is all about your Salesforce. And then you have, like, what are we gonna learn? So we have two things here: administration and development. This is what we are going to discuss, right? So, and the course duration will be for 40 days, 20 for admin and 20 for development, more or less. This is the average number, I would say. It might go up or go down based on the sessions that we are having very often, right? And these are the different certifications that are available. But in this session, with this session, you can go with admin or PD1. Post admin, you can go for advanced admin because admin is prerequisite. Post PD1, you can go with PD2 because for PD2, PD1 is prerequisite. Now, Ram, what are the prerequisites for this course itself? Forget about, I'm not thinking too much about certification now, but tell me, what should I learn before I start this course? For admin, I would say nothing. If you are aware of how Excel will function, then that is enough for me. I can translate that to Salesforce. So you just have to learn some technical terms, so that I'll discuss anyways. And admin is, what I heard about admin is just to manage users or the security. That's it. No. So what are you going to teach us for 20 days? So that's not the definition of admin and Salesforce. Anything that can be done using point and clicks comes under admin. Okay, what do you mean by that? What can I do using a point and click? I can build an application using point and clicks. I can define the users. I can provide the security, of course. I can automate the business process also. For example, without writing a single line of code, um, a very simple example is okay. So let's say whenever you are doing a transaction, right? So you will get an email from your bank saying that, okay, hey Aaron, you have transferred some 10,000 to your friend Abdul, right? Or some account numbers, right? So how you are getting notification? Is that someone sitting behind the bank and net banking website and checking, okay, whether as Aaron have deposited the amount or did he got the amount or not? No, right? So it's an automation built at the back end. So those things can be done easily using point and clicks in Salesforce using the admin features. Right? Or let's say I want to raise a leave request to one of my manager Rajesh for 1 week. So I can define a system in such a way that if I click on some submit for approval, it will shoot him an email saying that your peer, or sorry, your reportee, Mr. Ram, have raised a request for 1 week, and this is the dates. Please click on this link either to approve or to decline, so that he can define that process as well. Okay, so all these things can be easily done using admin, and of course you will get a clear course content from this from the career IT in after a day or two. Okay, then you will have development. Okay, Ram, if I can build everything using admin, then what are you going to teach me in development? So yes, we can build the application, build the things in admin, but there are some limitations. As it is just point and clicks, so you will have some limitations here where Salesforce says that you cannot go beyond this. So for example, again, same banking sector, let's say your bank wants to give on 1st of April, every bank will give you some interest rate where it'll make sure that we are a big fool, right? They'll show you lots of numbers when you're depositing the amount, but at the end of the day, they'll give you 3% or 2.5% or whatever. Now, if you consider a bank, they'll have crores of customers. If they want to increase 2.5% or whatever the number is for all these customers, it's not that easy, right? Record by record is not possible. Downloading them and changing them, it's not right because it involves manual effort and it might throw an error. But when I use development, I can ask the system to pick all these records, and that too I can give some conditions also. It's not that everyone in the bank, every customer in the bank will get the interest, right? They'll have some clauses. So I need to maintain. I want to give this 2.5 or 3% to all my customers who maintain an average balance of 10,000, for example, or 5,000. So it's only to such customers I want to give the interest. That is where your development helps you a lot. Or let's say I want to connect or integrate with some other system. So administration integration is not that easy. So you have to go with development. Which means for all complex programs, we'll go with development. Okay? So about the code's content. And this is again little old, but this is how the salary structure that is available in market. And there's all for just 1 or 2 years of experience. I won't even say two, 1 or 2 max. Any questions, anyone? Timings and all will be discussed by the consultancy itself.
So, Ram, my question is like, uh, we'll be using developer. I mean, we have two things in the Salesforce, right? One is admin and another one is developer. So,
Yeah.
in order to change the admin things, we use developer. Is that right?
No. Okay, I will tell you in this way. Okay. And actually, I forgot to tell you one thing also. So for development, you need to know some basic languages, at least the basics of object-oriented program, right? And very
Yes.
minor HTML and minor JavaScript as well, right?
Hmm.
Then why are we going for development? To make sure the complex requirement can be solved, right?
Hmm.
So when I look at the requirement, first of all, I should know that this cannot be resolved in my admin. That is where I will define with development, right? Which means to become an admin, to become a developer, I should be a good admin first. That is why the order first admin, then the development. That is first thing. And in development, we are not overriding the admin. We are extending the features that are defined, or we are enhancing the features that are already available in admin so that you can have a better solution to the customer.
Okay. So, yeah, Ram, like, what is the difference between the Salesforce and a Java application that is built? Like, both are same, right? It's gonna cost same thing. Like, Salesforce is also going to hire some developers to develop its platform, right?
Yeah, because yes, that's what, no. So Java, you won't get a platform. So you have to set your own you have to define your own platform. But in Salesforce, it's readily available. And of course, the UI of Salesforce is already much more easier. For example, uh, uh, when you started using Facebook, did anyone sat with you and trained you? Okay, this is how you have to use Facebook. This is how you have to speak with your friends. Or when you started using Amazon, did anyone sat with you and told you that okay, you choose this? I mean, no one from Facebook or Amazon came to you and gave you a user training and all, right?
Yeah.
Sales was also more or less the same. The UI is so friendly that, of course, initially, as it's a business process, you have to give a KT to the people to use the business, right?
Mhm.
Because in your Amazon or Facebook and all, it's very simple. But in when it comes to business, then your role might change, things might change, right? For initial business process will be there, but ideally, it's very easy to use Salesforce rather when you compare with any other technologies,
Okay.
right? And that is why, Most of the companies, if you go back, it's very evident that every company who started using Salesforce have seen 40% growth in their profits. If not, no company will use Salesforce, right? Why will they say, as you said, yes, I'll go with Java only? This is what they'll say, right?
Okay, so the main difference is like uh, it provides something. Uh, Salesforce provides something, right? Like it is going to
The end
help
of
us.
the day, I will also agree Java is core, but Java is there at the same place, right? Now, Salesforce built a platform on top of it, which helps you to connect with multiple other features, right? Multiple automations, multiple validations, multiple integration features where I can talk to other systems and all. But to do this in Java, you have to code everything from scratch, right? But in Salesforce, the features are readily available. Only thing is, you just have to define in such a way that it is fitting your purpose.
Okay. Okay, so I got to know that like in Salesforce we'll be using Apex language. Like, what is the major difference between the Java and Apex?
Apex is built on top of Java. Again, when I say Java, I mean, don't think that, okay, do I have to learn everything from Java? Not required. You just have to learn the object oriented programming, that to very basics.
Okay.
Okay. So ServiceNow is another tool, Arun. I won't say similar to Salesforce. But yeah, it's another tool where it has its own limitations as well.
Okay, so is Salesforce is going to take the help of the server, or it itself has some server in it?
Yeah, it itself has a server in it. Earlier, Salesforce used to rely on top of Oracle, but now it has its own servers. I think from past 1 decade, Salesforce has its own database.
Mhm. Does it have any backend also, like storage?
Yes, so that's what it has its own database.
Mhm. Thank you, Ram.
Any other questions, anyone? So I'm not saying that you have to learn Salesforce from me only, but if you are thinking to learn something, yes, Salesforce is always a good choice because it has a very good market outside. For example, the current situations are like one of my junior who is around 4 years of experience. He resigned recently, and he told me that he got an offer around 29 lakhs. That is very minimum. Huh? Because he didn't try it yet completely. That's how the market is. And of course, you can also look at that first, post it in the LinkedIn, search it in the LinkedIn's or Naukri and all. Then you can take a call. Okay. Any questions? Anyone?
Hi Ram, this is Siddiq.
Hi, Civic.
Yeah, uh, actually I am completely new to this one, and I lately joined. One thing that for administration there is a separate course, and for development separate course. Are you going to tell both in the same class?
No, it will be separate. First, we'll start with admin. And by the way, I'll tell you where you can get the practice versions also. So which are free of cost again. Right. So there we'll complete the admin first, and then post admin you will go with development, because as I said, every developer must be a good admin. This also means that if you are becoming a developer, which means you can try in both the ways, admin or development. And of course, we do have another role called business analyst, who is again for everything basic is always admin.
Okay. For both of them, that 40 days is separate, or for both of them in 40 days, both courses?
Admin 20, development 20. That should be
Oh,
more than enough. And end of the day, you have to do a certification that's not provided by career IT and all. So you have to do it in Salesforce itself, right? But for that, you will be getting some discounted vouchers. So the certification costs somewhere around $200. Not around, it is $200 plus again 18% GST, which is coming somewhere 2000 to $236. If you are from India, it costs you around 18K, right? But
mhm.
I'll make sure you will get a very good discount. I'll tell you the numbers later. But minimum, I would say 50% discount you will be getting it. Provided by that time I should get those vouchers. Yeah. Because I run a
Okay.
mentorship programs and all within Salesforce itself in my company, not outside. So that's where I will be having some contacts with Salesforce where they'll provide some vouchers to me. So I will share it across to you people post the sessions. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Moreover, I have the very little knowledge and idea about the programming. So basically, I not intended to the programming level. First, I want to be more in the administration level.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think Arpita was also coming from the similar background. She have just completed MBA.
3 days is enough for
So
the developer.
sorry, sorry, Siddiq, you said something. It was
I'm
breaking.
asking whether it's 20. Yeah, 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 no problem. Is 20 days is enough for the admin? I heard it will take some more time for admin itself.
No, no, 20 days is enough for both admin and development as well. And so, if you are more only towards admin, then I would say complete admin. Then start attend at least one or two sessions of development, right? Because preferred is always development because you have very good market in development. Start attending one or two sessions, see how comfortable you are. Then post that you take the decision. Okay.
Okay, okay,
And yeah, so if you are an MBA person, then you can even go to Sales Cloud or Service Cloud consultants as well. So that is also a role that the roles that are available in the market at Pickup.
and daily the class duration, please.
1 hour every day.
1 hour. Okay.
Timings, they will tell you whether it is 6 to 7 or 7 to 8. So I have a couple of batches running. So I will have to speak with Career IT again and adjust the timings. So they'll let you know about the timings.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Anyone?
Yeah, it's okay for me.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. See you on Tuesday. Bye.
Yeah, bye.